Greetings fellow mammals, today I had to suffer once more for you because I have to talk about the M44 now, a revolver that you unlock at level 29, and here you can see my loadout for it. Due to a comment on the last video, I will show these in full for a second or two so you mobile users out there can pause and read it a bit better. Let me know if that works for you now. This time there isn't a whole lot to observe here though, but the M44 currently still holds a spot in B tier, so apparently it's not that bad but not too great either. Let's see if that is still the case. This chapter is getting easier and easier with each new video. Only one singular ammo type today, high power. Essentially that is basically 1 second and then 2 seconds for those two ranges respectively. That's not great. Why would anyone use this? Well, because for one it is a 2-shot weapon for the first range, and because of the substantial damage it can actually also 1-shot headshot in that same range. So that is its niche as a sidearm. A 100-meter pocket sniper. But remember that when you hit that step there, it turns into a 3-shot and headshots won't 1-shot anymore. So this is really only confined inside those 100 meters. Since we only have this one real ammo type anyway, it's gonna be a quick choice to make. But then you might notice that we indeed have a second one here. Armor piercing. As always, I ignore this game design residue, but since we don't have anything else, you can equip it as backup. But I would recommend calling in vehicles on the enemy's head instead, that should be more effective. The rest here is also gonna be really quick because this weapon is a great representative of the word bare bones. We got no barrels as well as no underbarrels. That's right, no laser, not even a flashlight, nothing. And for the sights we got this rather mediocre selection. Logically you would go for the 4x scope, but personally I really dislike that one because it has such an ugly reticle. I got really frustrated with that zoom optic after a while, so eventually my buddy Juno recommended to just use the red dot. That seemed pretty counterintuitive to me considering what this gun's niche playstyle caters to, but surprisingly after I switched everything went a lot more smoothly. Sometimes it almost felt like the headshot hitbox gets bigger when you use the sight. Really weird. But thanks again to Juno for the tip, it really saved my patience. I also tried the iron sights and the other stuff here, but I had more complaints about all of these than I had for the regular red dot. So in the end I just ran that one by default and also carried a 4x as backup whenever I do need that zoom. I really don't know what to tell you, but this is the furthest I have gone from my preferred playstyle in this video series so far, and it shows. So let's finally talk about that B tier. From the sound of it, it seems like I would personally rank it in F or E tier, right? I guess, yeah. Although with the red dot in the end, it steered more into a consistent E to D tier direction. And just like with the GVT, I have to grant it some points for what it objectively offers. A 100-meter 1-shot headshot range for a sidearm is pretty wild. Someone who can actually make use of that would likely adore this thing. But even those players can probably admit that the fire rate is a tad bit too slow. It almost feels like the game is holding you back when you look at the animation. Something about it just feels slightly off. If they increase the RPM just by a tiny bit, maybe even low skill bobs like me could make at least some use of that insane 2-shot range. But alas, it is what it is. Ultimately I will rank it down a bit, to keep it consistent with the other sidearms. As I explained in the G57 episode, sidearms get a bit of a special treatment here so they don't look too much out of place compared to the primaries. If it were up to me subjectively, the M44 would drop to D tier, but given the points for objectivity it stops at C tier. But that is as high as I am willing to go. It does mirror the ranking of the GVT, which shares a lot of the same issues pretty nicely though. So it seems quite fitting. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. On Tuesday we are going to take a look at another LMG, the PKP, so if you are interested in that, consider subscribing. And on Thursday we will cover the MP9, so if you really want to make sure the algorithm doesn't hide any of these videos from you, activate the bell. And if you want to support my work even more, give this video a like and share it with your squad mates. But that's it for today. I will see you on the battlefield. Sorrow out.